Brandon Whitman. I'm the CEO and General Manager of Yellowstone Valley Electric Cooperative, and we are the title sponsor for this year's Ag Banquet, and we are very excited and humbled to be so. A good reason to come to the Ag Banquet is obviously to celebrate agriculture, but there's more to it than just food and fiber. There's a lot more to it, and it's a part of all of our lives, whether we realize it or not. It's a big part of my life. It's a big part of our co-op, obviously. We have a really unique, I would call it a symbiotic relationship with agriculture. It's a unique story with electric cooperatives. In the early 1930s, less than 90% of the country, of the rural America, had electric power, and by the early 1950s, more than 90% had electric power, and that was really due, you can say it's due to electric cooperatives because they did bring power to those rural areas, but truly it's the farmers and ranchers that got together and decided they needed that power to improve the quality of their life, to improve their efficiency and their competitiveness in the market. And so they're the ones that formed the electric co-ops that brought the power to rural America. So we don't forget that. That's how we were founded. It's the same story for us and the 800 plus electric co-ops across the country. So we remember that, we embrace that very much, and of course we love to celebrate it. Yes, so one of the points that I would like to make on the panel, and one of the discussions I'd like to have is how technology affects both industries, both the agriculture industry and the power industry at the same time. It's really interesting, we're a growing co-op, and people, when they think of that, they think of new subdivisions on the west end of Billings, and we have that. But one of our fastest paced rate bases that is growing is irrigation, believe it or not. We've put in more pivots in the last 4 or 5 years than we ever have before. And so that's one of our most rapid growing rate classes at our co-op. So there is some interesting, similarities between us. And I think a lot of people think, well, you're just a utility guy, so all you know is utilities. But when you think about it, my board of directors, they all are either directly or indirectly related to agriculture themselves. I serve on a couple of boards. One is CoBank that lends to rural infrastructure, but they're part of the Farm Credit System. I also serve on the Farm Credit Council, which is advocates for farm credit across the entire country. So there's this interweb that we've all created. Yes, I'm in infrastructure, but I am not far removed from agriculture at all. So myself and my entire board of directors all have brand new cowboy hats that we bought locally here. It's an opportunity for us not just to wear our cowboy hats, but to celebrate with everyone else in the entire room agriculture and what it does for all of us.
This year's Chamber Ag Banquet is on Friday, January 31st in the Montana Pavilion at Metro Park. Doors open at 5 and our program begins at 6. We are so excited for this year's lineup. My favorite part about the event is bringing both the urban and rural member together. So that evening, we certainly want to recognize some of the biggest and best producers in our community, but also hopefully you'll walk away with something new. I always learn something from our ag community, but we are excited to bring new people to the table and have them learn a little bit more about the #1 industry in our state. Attendees can expect a great meal, so it's always nice to be able to stand in line while you're waiting and catch up with somebody that maybe you haven't seen all year. And it's followed by a really great panel of experts throughout the industry. And then we have a little bit of entertainment, and again, just more time to get to know new people and catch up with your old friends. If you're interested in attending this year's Chamber Ag Banquet, be sure and get your ticket by January 24th. You can visit billingschamber.com or any of the social media channels. We look so forward to seeing you on January 31st.